Yo, parish orphans and retrogrades. Today we have a special, I guess, ecumenical program for you. We brought on Christian Mario, and I have Andrew Orozco with me, a theological advisor extraordinaire. We've been doing a lot of shows together, so we thought we'd do that. But Christian Mario, who is an Eastern Orthodox practitioner who I've befriended on Twitter, and we've fought many Twitter battles together. So I just said, let's do a everybody hold hands and sing Kumbaya show together.
Yeah, no, I heard that and I was like, let's do a Kumbaya diversity stream, and here I am.
Yeah, so. And I didn't know you were black till you jumped on camera with me. So that enriches.
A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people find that surprising.
You're slightly light-skinned for a black man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I get compared to Drake a lot.
Yeah,
I'm a Canadian rapper part-time.
That's cool. Are you a Canadian man?
No, I'm from Florida.
No, just he is. He's a Canadian.
That's my alter ego. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Your alter ego, because you're not actually. I thought maybe Christian Mario's real name is Mario, and then he just thought, why not go with it, Brooklyn Plumber? But your name is not actually Mario. We're not going to disclose what your name is.
No, that started because I was arguing some feminist chick on the internet, and then she said, whatever you say, Christian Mario, because I had a Mario profile picture. And then I liked it, and I've just been using it ever since. So that's how that started. It's
quite a compliment, isn't it? Like, to be a Christian Mario, which I know is your whatever, your name. Thank you, feminist lady.
Yeah, no, sometimes they cook. We give them a hard time, but one thing women are good at is cooking. So she cooks so we'll give her some credit. Usually
not feminists, but they can cook themselves. They specialize in that. And this is my friend Andrew Orozco. He's been appearing on shows with me lately. So he thought he would say hello. How old are you, Mario? What are you, 25?
I'm 25. Yeah.
Oh, I got a year on you, man. I'm 26. Yeah.
Yeah. You're married, right?
No, engaged.
Congrats.
Soon to be in February. So very excited about that.
It's a mitzvah. L'chaim or whatever.
L'chaimlik.
Okay, so you're set to be engaged. Do you what area, what general region of the United States do you operate out of?
Florida. I am a Florida man.
A Floridian. Yeah, it's a colorful, lawless swamp, isn't it?
It is, and it's a weird mix because I grew up around a ton of Yankees in Florida because there's just so many Yankees in Florida. And then a bunch of Hispanics, and then a handful of Southerners. And it's just this big mix of all those cultures fighting each other at all times. And lots of crimes, lots of alligators.
I was going to say, sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Alligators. Then the hurricane comes in, levels the playing field.
Right, and alligators
I wear a Hawaiian shirt a lot of the time. I've done that for years. Probably the last 10. I've always worn a tropical shirt. I'm just chilling. It's a nice place. There's tropical, there's iguanas, there's alligators, there's all sorts of critters. There's lizards everywhere.
Right.
I like it here.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like another Orthodox friend of mine, Jay Dyer, has the flamingo theme, which I was asking him about last time we had a meal. He's just like, I just like the laid back neon vibe. And I'm like, you ortho bros have that going. How long have you been? I remember, Mario, when you were discerning, basically, what was it? Leaving Protestantism to go either Catholic or Orthodox. Wasn't that 4 or 3 years ago?
Something like that. I'm really bad with time, but I think it was about 3 years ago, really.
Yeah. Yeah. That was an interesting, it's an interesting time when people submit that to Twitter. And then you have people like sending you applications, don't you? Like, well, consider joining my denomination.
Well, normally what it is, and I don't want to bash anybody, but normally it's just, oh, well, look at this scandal, look at that scandal. Well, look at my scandal. Let's compare scandals.
Yeah, yeah.
All I got from people was just like, well, did you know this Russian priest did that? Did you know this Vatican priest did that? And I'm like, I'm trying to assess truth claims, not like who has more pedophiles. So it's like, that's kind of, it was like a shit slinging contest on the internet of like, oh, look at what ecumenical prayer this guy did. It's like, okay. I'm trying to figure it out, guys. Come on. So that all started because I had a dream about the Virgin Mary. And that sounds really weird, but that's what happened. And so then I woke up from that dream feeling a love for her. And so then I just knew I couldn't be Protestant. So that's how that
you know, you can watch two ways. If you love the Virgin Mary as opposed to, I guess, hating her, there's only two options. You got to go Catholic or Orthodox. Tell me what's your experience been like as someone who had who was prompted by a first impetus, which is Marian kind of private dream or apparition or whatever. How does that go? Because we Catholics, we know you guys don't hate the Virgin Mary. That's an awesome thing, like the Protestants do. What do you find the Marian devotion like as an Orthodox? This is a legit question. It's always at the back of my mind.
It's just like constant part of Orthodox life, you know. I mean, to be a Christian is to be a son of the church. It's to worship Christ and to venerate his mother. So, yeah. I mean, she's very much tied into everything I do. I pray to her every day, and not a day goes by. You know, she's a huge part of my devotional life. And then another saint that's very significant to me personally is St. John of Shanghai in San Francisco. He's an Orthodox saint. But him, the Virgin Mary, in my personal piety, I'm praying akathist prayers a lot to those two saints in particular. And obviously the Virgin Mary is the most important saint and the most important woman ever. So, yeah.
Amen.
And all that. Yeah. So, yeah, she makes up a lot of what I think about, what I pray about. I mean, I love her, you know? So, I mean, that's, I guess like the practical devotions are different. Like you guys have the rosary. We tend to do akathist prayers. We have our own version of the Hail Mary. We pray frequently. I pray it throughout the day. So the devotions might look a little different, but you know, a significant amount of my prayer life would be to the Blessed Mother. So.
Yeah, I feel like since you brought up shit slinging, Protestant shit slinging, when they want to make fun of the Theotokos, they're only ever sending barbs and arrows our Catholic way. I don't think they know that you guys love the Virgin Mary a lot too.
Well, when they do give us shit, I mean, well, recently here's been the change. The change has been in the past maybe 3 months. I mean, it's that recent that we're now being included in their memes. And I think what's happening is that Protestantism is declining. I think that's just observable. Mm-hmm. And people want historical Christianity. And so there really is two options. I mean, there's the Oriental Orthodox as well, but monophysitism is a very hard position to defend. And they're also microscopic. And so with those two things being on the table, very few people discern them, but I've seen an uptick in them. Like even the local Coptic church by me, there's more cars there than there ever were, and they're not all immigrants. So even those guys are going up in numbers, and the classical Protestants, like the more traditional minded ones, are going up. So across the board, you have a shift away from low church, evangelical, anti-Mary kind of caveman Christianity, me no like Mary, me personally saved with my personal relationship, all this sort of dumbass nonsense. And so I think like what I've seen a lot as an Orthodox person is nonstop hate about the Virgin Mary, but it's also the circles of the internet I'm on, where it's like I post any picture of her ever, it's a billion retards in the comments just going crazy that I posted the Blessed Mother. So I don't know, that's a frequent experience. But they also conflate me with Catholics all the time. Like I got a comment today that's like, well, doesn't the Catholic Church support gay marriage? And I'm like, dude, I'm not even Catholic. What are you talking about? So we get those types of comments all the time.
And the answer is no, by the way, of course. But,
yeah, I'm not claiming that either. I'm just saying.
I know. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but you judge by a lot of our high-ranking prelates, and I don't fault anyone for thinking we're a bunch of fruitcakes, but the doctrinal answer is definitely not. Why do you think we were talking about this? Because Andrew actually, I'm throwing this out there for my audience. Andrew's going to be releasing a book. I think we're going to help distribute it on this channel. It's a great, I think, best ever level, a book of apologetics, and I think it'll address the answer to the question I'm about to ask you. But what, Mario, do you think accounts for the huge uptick? It's probably an understatement to call it an uptick. The swell in interest in, you called it historic Christianity. I say apostolic sacramental Christianity. Why do people want that these days?
Because if you're a Christian, you might as well go all the way. There's no point in just being a halfway Christian anymore where it's like, okay, you know, I prayed a prayer, I've got my insurance, I'm all good. People now, it's like, it's kind of do or die. The culture's headed towards nihilism. We live in hell. The women are terrible. The men are awful. Everybody sucks. You're looking around at what my generation's walking into is kind of hell. And so when you're looking at the world, you're looking at our culture, you're looking at our decline, our economic crisis, the Zionist stuff, all of it, the foreign wars, the feminism. You combine all of that and you have men that feel very frustrated, and the evangelical stuff isn't cutting it. They don't care. They've surrendered the culture. They don't really care about Christ that much. They're basically just moralists that care a lot about, maybe a Christian ethic, but they don't even get that right. So it's just a frustrating thing. So you've got a lot of people, they want Christianity where it believes in itself, a Christianity that's actually believes in itself. And I don't think there's any doubt when you're looking at the world, who has more credibility, Catholics or Protestants? Catholics, obviously. And who has more credibility, Orthodox or Protestants? Orthodox. It's just obvious. It's baked into the cake. You can't look at a church with a Eucharist, with saints, or at least the appearance of such, and not say that it's more credible than what they're doing. Because even the Lutherans, there's no Eucharist there, but it looks a lot more convincing than whatever they're doing. So it's a search for authenticity.
Yeah, that's a great point. I also think a lot of it has to deal with, this is the first time, thanks to the internet, that Protestants are realizing how different their denominations are from historic Christianity. They're encountering the church fathers for the first time and realizing the church was always Eucharistic and always Marian. And they're realizing this tension with history that they didn't realize before, say, the rise of the internet. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, do you agree with that? I wanted to talk about the role of the internet and all this. Yeah. And I think there are even interesting kind of real-time moments, Mario, where me and Jay debated twice this summer, one at the beginning, one at the end. And the first one was on Tim Pool, if you didn't catch it. And there was a Protestant guy, I forget his name, I think it was Third Wheel or something like that. And he was only then realizing that they're just, Protestants, even the more serious denominations, are just not in the debate, and it's the internet that's telling them so.
Yeah, well, he was just sitting there waiting, like, okay, when they say filioque, I agree to that, and then when they say papacy, I disagree with that. And he's just sitting there, like, waiting for someone to say the lines that he's supposed to agree or disagree with.
Right.
And it was kind of pathetic. And then he admits to being a Mason. It's like, dude.
That was cool. That was chef's kiss.
That was, dude, are you serious? You're a Mason? Okay, so you're a Satanist? Why are you here? So it was just kind of like, that was a little bit unbelievable. I enjoyed watching it all the same, though. But I had the same comment everyone else did. Why isn't it just Tim and Jay?
Yeah.
I think when you guys did your own thing, I thought it was high tier. I thought it was great. So
thanks. Yeah.
But to the point that you were making about Christians or Protestant Christians, when they're looking at apostolic Christians, what's the issue that they have? Well, I think something that they've underestimated is just how frequent the church fathers talk about schism and how it's never talked about the way they view it, ever. Schism is always considered severe, always. You see that in Irenaeus, you see that in Ignatius. Schism is a terrible act. And if you're a Protestant, your entire religion's based on your right to schism whenever it violates your right to private judgment of what the scriptures mean. So if nobody in church history believes in your beliefs on what you're allowed to schism and that you can build a parallel jurisdiction whenever this threshold's met, that's just not how the church operated ever. And so I think that throws them out. Also, the fact that bishops are just irrefutable. If you want to go the development route and say it developed, I mean, you'd have to say it developed while the ink was drying on Revelation. So it's just a ridiculous position. And historically, bishops and schism being bad that's just the case. All the church fathers agree. And we can't say that about a lot. You can't say the church fathers agree on everything. But what you can say is, apostolic succession, bishops, Eucharist, veneration of saints, that's always been there. So
yeah, beautiful. No, that's great. What about, there's this phrase that I notice a lot of girls use. It's terminally online, and it's always an epithet, and it's always meant to sort of ipse dixit, just condemn, impugn, level the second it's uttered out into space. That this guy's terminally online. And the funny thing is, the girls I'll always hear say it are saying it online. And my main response is just sort of what you said, Andrew. It's like the internet is what's red-pilled everyone on apostolic Christianity just being the only thing serious. Oh, a serious-minded person that wants to be Christian has to be Catholic or Orthodox. I can always be that ecumenical. You're going to be serious. If you're a serious-minded person, you become Christian. In the age of the internet, I'm not talking 10 or 20 years ago, you just can't be Protestant. But it's also the internet being terminally online has red-pilled people. We can talk about this afterwards on, like, generally speaking, Israel, which is more a generational issue than a political issue, and on women, which is turning into a generational issue. So I don't think terminally online is actually a slander. I think the internet is the only thing that broke all the gatekeeping to. I think the powers that be wanted to keep those who are Christian Protestant. They wanted to obviously keep everyone Zionist and feminist, even conservatives on like Fox News. So I respect the internet a lot, also because it's what I do for closest thing to a living. But I think it's real what you said, if I have a living. I guess I have one.
Yeah, well, the terminally online thing, it's like, okay, look, there's a real problem with spending too much time on the internet and having no real life. If that's you, then you need to get yourself together. But it looks like I spend a lot more time on the internet than I really do, is also another thing. I'll go on there, tweet a bunch of things, get off, and then do a bunch of other things.
Same.
And I don't think about it at all. But I get on there and I say what I want to say, and then I leave it.
Same. So
it's like, yeah, do I say things? Sure. But do I stay on there? Of course not. So it's just like, I think there's a real issue with that. But the issue that I see is porn. I see like the gooning stuff, the porn stuff, really problematic. The weird identities people make up for themselves on the internet where they just live vicariously through avatars and not in real life. That's an issue. And I have an avatar. I post on the internet. I have no issue with any of that. But when it becomes who you are, there's a huge issue with that. But as far as the women just ankle biting and saying, look, we have an issue with you being online. Well, it's a performative contradiction because you're saying it online. It's very similar to the guys that hate debates. They go, well, debating's not Christian. And then they want to sit there and debate you about debating. It's like, dude, you're in a contradiction as we're talking. If you think debates are wrong, then you shouldn't debate me on it because you're doing the wrong thing you're worried about.
Right.
I have a lot of Orthodox because a lot of Orthodox will say things like, well, we shouldn't debate. We should just show them the gospel by our love or whatever. It's like, dude, some ideas people need to hear they're wrong. Okay. And you arguing me on the internet that I can't argue is you doing the very thing you're accusing me of. So shut up.
Right.
Like, help her get out of the way. Help her get out of the way. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, that's a great point. So how, after your dream from Our Lady, I would imagine the internet apologetics played a huge role in your discernment between Catholicism and Orthodoxy, and it's playing a huge role in the conversion of many people across the whole world, basically. Could you go more into how those different apologetics, those debates on YouTube, Twitter, et cetera, affected your conversion? And I think you're a content creator, right? You're involved in the spreading of Christian apologetics online, right? If you want to get into that too.
Yeah, well, it played a big role in the fact that I knew that I needed to be Orthodox to kind of tell the story a little bit because it's not very academic. What happened to me was a lot of experiences. So I had the prayer with the Virgin Mary. I go to my buddy's card. We're going to a house party because we're going to go party. And at the time I was a Christian, but I was kind of living in contradiction with myself a little bit at that time because I was new to it. So I was like, okay, well, I'd grown up Protestant, but you don't really do anything as a Protestant. No offense to some of them, but I really just didn't live any sort of Christian life at all. So I thought to myself, okay, I need to start taking this seriously. We're going to a party to go get drunk and have a good time. And he was Catholic and I was Orthodox. And I was telling him, dude, I'm frustrated. I don't know whether I'm supposed to be Catholic or Orthodox. It doesn't make sense. I don't know who's right. I just hear a bunch of voices online. We go to the party. And across the street from the Airbnb where the party was at was an Orthodox church. And I'd prayed that morning that God would just tell me what my next step was supposed to be. So then I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's it. So for me, it wasn't very intellectual, but then I needed to justify myself because I'm looking at everybody else. They're like, well, that's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That can't be a reason. And I was like, yeah, you're right. That doesn't really sound convincing. That's like some burning in the bosom type. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, I need to know what's going on. So I started, researching guys like Jay. I watched Eric Ibarra a lot. Michael Lofton. Michael Lofton at the time was not the lolcow he is today. So, I mean, I think he was, but we weren't where we are with him now. So I watched a lot of those guys and they helped provide context. And then eventually you reach a point where you have to do some reading yourself. And so you got to start reading. Actually, Anglicans played a significant role in me becoming intellectually able to articulate apostolic succession and things like that. I read a lot of Anglican works on that at the time. I wouldn't really recommend that to people now, but at the time, that's what I did.
Yeah, any port in the storm. And Anglicanism has, I guess, the closest approximation of a kind of veneration for apostolic succession of all the Protestants.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with them. They seem to, every Anglican I talk to says something different. So I don't know.
Well, so you're watching Lofton. You're watching Ibarra's respectable. And of course, you did your own research. You're a super bright guy. One of the reasons I wanted to talk to you. So I don't want to just be like, oh, well, here are your influences. So.
Oh, no, but it's fair because that's a pretty dubious influence, you know?
Yeah, Lofton. Yeah, I'm like, man, if he'd been watching Gordon instead of Lofton.
No, that's actually a very common thing of people that watch Lofton and become Orthodox. And I think that just shows why I think he should continue and you think he should stop. Because he does not make a very good case for anything at all. He's no offense, right? No. But yeah, no, it didn't stop with Lofton. Thank God. I mean, if I'd made my decision off of Lofton, I don't think I'd stay Orthodox. If that was all I had, my goodness. So no, I don't want to slander the guy, but I'm not a fan. So.
Yeah, me neither, but I'm not either. A lot of people, yeah, we're not going to slander anyone here, but it's hard to be a fan of that. He seems to be fine with criticizing this Pope, didn't like criticizing Francis, whatever. Anyway,
wherever the tide's turning and then does the opposite. So in the last, it was cool to criticize Francis, so he didn't. And then with Leo, it's okay. Most people don't criticize him and they just say how great he is. So he wanted to take the opposite role because he's a contrarian. I don't think he believes in anything.
I think that's right. I think that's right. And our view here on this program, and I think you know.
I know your view. I respect. Yeah, one of the few guys I respect in the scene.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah.
And I respect Wagner, and I respect the Avoiding Babylon guys a lot. I like Wagner; he's a good friend, and Rob and Anthony of Avoiding Babylon, I like them a lot.
Yeah, these are all good Catholic guys. Christian Wagner, Rob, and Anthony, good dudes. Have you been?
Pine Sap's my buddy too. I like.
Pine Sap, good. Yeah, all of these mans have been on this program as well. So yeah, we've had all these mans on. Good dudes. What? Who are your favorite? Who are your closest Orthodox collaboratives?
Cleave to Antiquity. You see him in the comments.
Yeah,
he's a good personal friend of mine. And then Luigi, Orthodox Luigi. Everybody's always beefing with him. Never me. I could never disavow. Love him to death.
Your
brothers, look. You know, he's bad cop. I'm good cop. You know, that's the dynamic. But I love the guy to death. He's a personal friend before either of us were Orthodox. So that's just kind of crazy how that all worked out. But those are the guys that I talk to a lot. I like Alex Soren. He's this lawyer guy who's newer. And of course, our mutual friend, Jay Dyer. I don't even think I need to say that. Of course, I love Jay. Of course. Yeah. Jay has been nothing but good to me. And he's a friend. And he's been, I think he's genuine and about as real as it gets. So I love him.
He's a very good dude. He's a very good dude in person. A lot of Catholics are like, why are you friends with him? I'm like, look, man, I just like good dudes.
Well, I get that too for Wagner and Pine Sap. I just get the, why are you friends with these guys? I don't care. I don't need to explain myself to you. Like,
right. Of course.
And Jay's wife is just so nice.
Sweet.
She's just lovely. Yeah.
She's a sweetheart. And I can't wait for my fiance to meet her soon. And I think that they'll hit it off. So that'll be cool.
How long did you date your fiance? Because I want to talk about dames. How long did you date your girlfriend before she became your fiance?
About 3 months. We figured it out pretty quick.
Amen. Love it.
But we kept it more DL. We didn't go out and make a huge show of it. And that's when we figured out we wanted to get married. And then, like, when did we get engaged? That's kind of confusing because we just kind of went to the priest, said, look, we want to get married. And I didn't pop on a knee or anything.
Yeah.
So we just sort of knew what we wanted. We talked to the priest. And then I think from there on, we were kind of engaged. And then I was like, oh, I'll save the pomp and circumstance for later. But I don't even really have a date. It's kind of weirdly fluid. So it was organic. We knew we wanted it. Talked to my spiritual father, talked to my priest, my confessor. They were on board. So.
Yeah. Steph, you were asking me, you're like, because I think we watched the Office episode where Jim proposes to Pam, and he's like pretending to be nervous, like, oh, what answer am I going to get? I think we watched Rocky 2. We went through all the Rockies, but we just went through Rocky 2, and he's He doesn't pretend to be nervous,
That's
but like,
great proposals. Like, what do you think about marrying me?
Thank you very much. In front of like the tiger cage.
Yeah.
That's
what I did. I remember that scene from that movie. I love it. They're at the zoo. Yeah. I did the same thing. It's just like, look, you like me, I like you. Need we say more? Need we say anything more about this? You know,
what a girl's answer is going to be if a guy has gotten to the point where you're like, wow, I want to cash it all in for this girl. She's, one in a million millions. Then you know the answer is going to be yes. So I like this I like that about you in general. You're non-sanctimonious. I'm very non-sanctimonious.
No, I'm the same way. I talk the way I feel. I say what I feel, and that's some of the problem I have with some of our piety bros.
Yeah,
I love them to death. They never tell you they never stop telling you how pious they are. My problem with that is just that doesn't make sense. If you're pious, you wouldn't be telling me. So. It's just kind of like, so the guys that are like, oh, I don't like that you say damn it on a stream. It's like, dude, I'm real. I'm sorry. I'm a young man and I don't, act gay for you. Like,
yeah. I don't get that. I don't get where, well, actually I do. In the late 1800s, Protestants were in America were indoctrinating people that saying shit or bitch or whatever, substitute just some impolite word is swearing. You get that when people say, oh, you swore or you took the Lord's name in vain. Like the Lord's name is not shit, bro.
No, there's just false equivalency between any sort of impolite language and blaspheming God. It's like, these aren't even the same category, dude. What are we talking about?
They're not even in the same moral universe. And I have to tell Catholics this. It's not just a Protestant thing. You're like, wait a minute, what? Poo-poo is saying poo-poo? or like, for one thing, I defy everyone out there to demonstrate along the lines equivalent to action theory or some sort of Aristotelian natural ethics, why saying poo-poo is better than saying shit. I mean, we designate this as a function of nomos, right? This is just a cultural thing. You say poo-poo or defecation if you're having dinner with the queen. Maybe you just don't talk about poo at all. But
maybe if you're with the queen, just hold off all the shit talk.
Shit talk at all. But okay, so do that. There's literally no difference aside from conventional nomos differences. But I mean, how did this get mixed up with swearing, or they'll call it cursing? It isn't cursing, it's called cussing. And it just means, you say whatever. And there's not like a compendium of words that are official cuss words, like in the ranked order. The Protestant Americans gave us that, where they magisterialize.
It's the pietism. It's all of it's majoring on the minors. That's another thing I really don't like about evangelicalism is all they care about is the most unimportant shit. So it's like, okay, don't say this, don't say that. But like, they'll act like you're a worse Christian if you swear than if you actually fornicate. Like, saying fuck is worse than fornicating in their mind. I'm sorry, that's like stupid. Like, you're dumb. Like, I can't tolerate that. That doesn't make any sense. Could you make a good case for why none of us should say that word? Yeah, maybe. But what does that have to do with anything? Until you start talking about the things that are important, I really don't even know what the point of talking to you is. Now, would you believe this? Anthony from Avoiding Babylon texts me. He goes, Pine Sap and Wagner, that's who you shout out? Dude, I shouted you out too. Didn't I, Tim? Didn't I shout him out?
You literally did the three of them.
Dude,
I'm seeing it.
Anthony, you know what? Next time you won't even get a shout out if you act like this. Come on, I shouted you out.
Yeah.
I think he was first.
I think he was first. Yeah, you gotta turn up your radio, bro. It's not radio. It's not radio. Man, I'm old. But
him and Rob, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I'm misunderstanding his text. I hope I am.
Let's go back and take that out. Okay.
Censor it.
Yeah, censor it. Like self-fulfilling prophecy. You're gonna bitch and be a bitch.
I just want to shout out beep. Yeah.
I said, no, this was funny. Because I'm friends with Fuentes. I super chatted him the other night. And I was like, yo, man, great show, legendary show, reacting to the Tucker thing. And he was like, oh, cool. And I was like, this is Timothy J. Gordon here. That's literally all he said. Cool. But I'm not going to like text him and be like, oh, where's my shout out for my super chat?
I've been told for the past, 8-9 years that I sound like Nick, and I've been told that I look like Seth Rogen. Everybody in the chat, you can go ahead and spam W if you think that's true, because I think it might be true. I've
Yeah, for sure, Rogan.
Did I lean into it too? Like once I started watching Nick, I don't know, like years ago. I can't remember how long. It was like, I don't know, probably about 2020 or something, 2021. I don't know. 2021, I think. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I lean into it. If I sound like I'm good, I think he's awesome. So.
Yeah, you like where are young ortho bros on the Groypers? Pretty friendly. Lots of
generally friendly. Some people don't like them because of like internet polemic arguments with them. My issue with Groypers, I don't have an issue with Groypers. Let me reframe that.
There are a lot in this audience. So
anybody can put Groyper in their name on the internet. So it doesn't, if some guy puts Groyper in his name and then texts you reprehensible stuff, it's like, well, you can't blame Nick for that. Like I've gotten death threats from Groypers. I've had Groypers want to kill me. And I'm like, I'm a fan of the show, dummy. Yeah. You have to understand that they're new. They're new and that like, they're not an old head. So they've just got red pilled 2 seconds ago and they're ready to go out for blood. And so, yeah, some of those guys, they need to curb their enthusiasm, but I'm not here. I'm not a woman. I'm not here to control them. So someone else can take that mantle.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. A lot of people forget, but there are ortho Groypers, I'm guessing.
Oh, for sure. And as far as like, there was some beef between my buddy Luigi and Nick. And how I mitigate that is I say, I disavow nobody. I won't do anything for anyone. Anyone wants me to disavow somebody, screw you. I'm not doing it. They're both cool. Leave me alone. Like, are we in high school? So that's how I feel. I love Luigi. He's my brother. He'll be at my wedding. I love the guy to death. And nobody could ever get me to disavow him. I don't care what he said to Nick. I don't care. Yeah. And I'm not going to disavow Nick either. That doesn't make sense. I'm not disavowing anybody. So
I'm not just jumping on Me Too movement or whatever. That's 100. I mean, I think that's always how we've rolled. It's like, yeah, we have there are some really nice, good Catholics at the Daily Wire. Do we approve of the Daily Wire as a whole? Like, no, obviously not. People know where we stand, but yeah, I'm not going to do anything for anyone. A friend is a friend, and disavowing is gay. It's just buckling to peer pressure, and it's nothing more, and it's nothing less gay than that.
People want
to. It's totally performative and it's not real. You're not really disavowing anybody. You're just trying to make one person happier. I'm not here to make anybody happy. So I don't believe in that.
No, ceremonial hand washing, ceremonial humiliation rituals just don't fly here. I literally have lost jobs. I've lost, the Patreon account. They're like, keep this large Patreon account. If you just take down these 2 videos, it's like, sorry, I'm not going to do it. I'll make a public ritual out of not obeying the public humiliation ritual. Yeah, Steph's reminding me after, the two very not friendly during, but friendly after debates with Jay this summer. These Catholics were saying disavow. I'm like, I will never disavow. I will never apologize publicly for anything. So
no, the only exception I have is sexual impropriety. When someone starts really acting out in a really extreme way, I'm not going to put up with that. So, But besides like something extreme like that, and I said that in a Voice of Reason video, and I've held Orthodox to the same standard. We've had scandals since then on there, and I call them out because it just can't be tolerated.
Is that a nice way of saying, if you molest me, I will not anymore?
I don't mean to sound controversial, but if you molest me, I don't like you.
This show tries to avoid controversy so hard. We're so averse to it. But like, if you rape me while I'm talking, if you're like a man and you just come up to me and start raping me, I'm not going to be your friend much.
Yeah, sorry, bro. Like, I feel like this might sound really rude, but it's like, I think the French cast that we're here, it's like you raped me. So
that's so mean.
Sorry, that's like not charitable, is it? I'm sorry, guys.
No, maturity. Maturity says even if someone rapes you as you're just trying to do a stream, right? And then Andrew, now he's where did I want to go from there? Yeah, well, I was just talking about where I think I first made inroads with you ortho bros was the strong sort of inclination toward patriarchy and against feminism. I always liked the ortho bros, just not as well known or pervasive a branch of Christianity in America as Catholicism and Protestantism. And therefore, I would say you guys at the level of popular culture are the least invaded, whatever, by feminism. You agree?
Yeah, well, it's also just that, like, I think a big part of it just has to do with the fact that the people that are converting to Orthodoxy too are just, they mean business. You know, like no one's becoming Orthodox because they want their life to be easier. We fast constantly. It's constant. And like, I'm not trying to piety saying, well, I don't do a good job with any of this. I'm just saying that in the religion, it's just stuff that makes your life more difficult and they expect a lot from you. So the men that go into it, they tend to be really one of two extremes, chads or just total chuds. So they're either like Discord mod looking guys that are ginormous and just kind of, they're mad at women or something, or they're like chads. And so you get a lot of those, that dichotomy there. And yeah, we just mean business. And as far as like the feminism thing, it's 100% a thing, because there are parishes where the priests are basically just bossed around by whoever's on the parish council. That exists in Orthodoxy too. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Catholics have had this problem for forever, and we're no stranger either. So it's not, you know, so I don't want to paint some like fake picture of like, oh, it's base church where everybody like watches Nick and listens to Andrew Tate every 2 seconds. That's not true at all. But what is the case is that the converts mean business. The saints are the real deal. Like the saints of the Orthodox Church have generated. I think that that's the apologetic. Half the time it's just like, let me tell you about this saint guy from 20 years ago. You're gonna love him. You know, like that's the way that I evangelize Protestants normally, is I talk about the saints, the fruits, those things. Because if I spend all my time making these intellectual arguments to a very emotional group of people, that doesn't really necessarily resonate. I mean, think of me. I came from evangelicalism. What got me? An emotion towards the Mother of God. The intellectual stuff came later. But the main shift for me was enmity towards the Mother of God, which made me realize I was an enemy of Christ if I had that attitude. And that shifted by grace. So, you know, so much of it for me is like, I just want people to not miss out. And if you're Protestant, like, yeah, I mean, as far as the salvation of Protestants or whatever, I don't concern myself with that because I'm not on the throne. God is. But you're missing out. If you don't have the Eucharist, if you don't have the Mother of God, you're at an extreme disadvantage. So, you know, and I think as far as the feminism stuff goes, dude, it just sucks. It's like nobody wants their wife to have been someone who put out for anybody before you got married. That means she didn't respect you. And I think nobody who's a man wants a wife who nags them to death. The Bible speaks on this. The Bible talks about this all throughout Proverbs, the book of Sirach. It's in there. You don't need to look far. So it's like, I don't really even feel like we need to make explanations for these people. It's, well, how do things function when women are at the top? Emotionally. Every decision is made purely off of emotions. And you might have logical women, but the exceptions don't make rules. So it's just like, what are men built for? Men are built for leadership. What are women built for? It's so basic.
Followership. Yeah. I mean, if you want to start, I don't even mean, my whole thing is feminism is dying. And, you know, this has much to do with this channel, if I do say so myself. I don't even like when people make the jokes. I don't like when people are like, oh, women are horrible drivers and need to be in the kitchen. I'm like, well, look, these are just true. And I'm not trying to be funny. But women, Fuentes has been on this kick lately, and it's great. Real women that follow these cues are amazing. And there aren't tons of them around. But because of, again, the internet, it's a growing movement. And because of nature, it's a natural inclination. The best line in the Bible to show people, again, not to be like caricature of caveman or whatever, the most you were allowed to do to push back in the 90s was to make a caveman get in the kitchen joke. I just mean this non-sarcastically. You read them, I think, what is it, 1 Timothy? A woman was made for man, not man for woman.
Yeah.
That's all you have to show people, isn't it? It's like, if you believe the Bible's inerrant, woman was made for man, not man for woman. Well, you know, woman is the glory of man. Man is the glory of God. I think that's a conversation stopper.
Yeah, I think it is too. And I think too, another thing that I think is pretty tough is like the thing I think that they're missing in the equation is Theotokos, because they don't have her. They either make a woman a pastor, or they basically make her a slave, like a subhuman slave that doesn't do anything. She's like a sex robot for them. And so Protestants tend to either go into this cartoonish patriarchal direction where they're a stone's throw from Andrew Tate's OnlyFans pimping, or they go, oh, we should make women priests. And so either extreme is insane. And with the Mother of God, you have an understanding that, look, the holiest human being that wasn't God to ever exist was a woman. And when you have a proper veneration or a proper understanding of who she is, you can't have a low view of women. There's no place for that. There's no place to hate women. There's no place to think that they're inferior. They're different, and their differences complement ours. And the authority must be with the man. And behind every good man, every strong man, it's said all the time, is a strong woman. And like, look, it's important to me that the woman that I picked out was strong. I didn't want some subservient woman that couldn't contend with me at all. And that couldn't, if I were to die, God forbid, couldn't help the children, right? Like I would want a woman who was competent. So I'm not encouraging men to go for incompetent women that are just going to listen to whatever you say. You want a woman who knows that you have the authority and that you're the head, and she'll listen to you. But at the same time, you want her to be competent, strong, intelligent, all of those things. But you want her priorities to be in the right place. Because if all she cares about is a career, that's pretty disordered. I mean, a career is one of the worst parts of being a man. Like we just have to work all the time and slave away. Why the hell is that what you want? Feminism was basically the lie of all of the shittiest parts of being a man. You should want a woman. Yeah. And that's just insane and stupid, and I don't get it at all. So I think I have no shame saying strong women. I think women can be strong. I think women can be very strong, but they can't be really strong and they can't be good outside of their role. So as soon as they decide that they don't want to be women, they don't want to play their role, which is a good role, then it collapses on itself. It's symbolic collapse too. The idea of a woman priest, that symbolism totally doesn't make any sense. When you have a woman holding up the host, not that they could even consecrate one, but pretend a woman holding up the host is life-giving. And then you've got a woman who's life-giving. The symbolism all just collapses. I don't see any way you can look at it from any angle where it makes sense and it doesn't seem like some transgender freak show. So that's how I feel about it.
I'm glad I asked. I think I agree on all that. Yeah, that's from a newly engaged guy, and it sounds like you'll go far. What now? Did you have any? You have a YouTube channel as well, right, Mario?
Yeah. I've been live streaming on it for about 2 weeks, and it's been doing well, actually. To be honest, for just like for not too much effort, it's been doing pretty good. So I want to put more into it when I have more time, but there's been some pretty crazy circumstances, so I've just been navigating that, and then when I get more free time, I'll do that.
And you'll hang videos on the Twitter as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, the most recent thing I want to do is I want to just. I enjoy like reacting to content. I think a lot of people, they want something chill, something fun. And so I just look for content that's crazy and zany, and then I try to react to it, normally in the Christian space. But
what did you do? You did a reaction video I liked a lot. It was like 5 minutes to it was like no Catholics were
the BOR thing.
The BOR. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, the BOR. That was great. That was great. Because again, you wasn't like one of these anti-Catholic Orthodox things. You're just like, where are the Catholics saying saying the common sense thing on VOR? I was like, oh, I'm your
And as soon as I said it, they were everywhere. And I think the truth is I think that this is actually kind of fair. It's really hard when a scandal's happening to be the guy that says it. And I think everybody was going, I will say something, but I'm waiting for the proper time. And I think I just said, okay, now's the time. And then I think everybody was like, yeah, it is. So I don't think that there was any sort of malice there. I think guys like Wagner, the guys I shouted out, I don't need to relitigate all of that. The guys I shouted out, I knew
only Wagner and only
PineSap. No one else.
No one else on my naughty list.
Yeah, just Wagner and PineSap. Okay, go on.
So true. But I knew that the guys I shouted out would have the correct take. But all I saw was normies coming up with, oh, well, he said sorry, so therefore he should have power again. And it's like, dude, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So with every scandal that we see, there just can't be that much tolerance on the internet. We really can't. They can't be welcomed in our circles. Because whether you like it or not, as anti-ecumenical as you want to go, we're lumped together. Orthodox, Catholics, Protestants, we're lumped together to some extent. Yeah. And if we have extreme sexual impropriety happening in our YouTube circles where we're all talking to each other all the time and talking about each other all the time, it's a really bad look. Right. So I don't care who it is, call it out. And what you shouldn't do is you shouldn't pretend it's emblematic of the system. So if an Orthodox guy rapes somebody and then you go, oh, see, that's what all Orthodox do. It's like, dude, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. And if you do the same thing with Catholicism, that's not a real claim. You're not really arguing. You're just finding a scandal. And like I said earlier in the show, I don't respect that. I think that's boring.
Yeah. And as we established about 10 minutes ago on the show, it is totally rude to start raping people.
So rude.
One of the worst things you can do.
Hey, if you commit acts of violence, you should stop.
Yeah, you should. Never murder someone. Probably don't even rape anybody out there. So, yeah, sorry. I thought that would get
knock that off. All of you, knock that off.
Knock it off. It's a bad habit. Grow up. You gotta be an adult at some point. Stop the rape. I won't condone it. Christian Mario won't. I don't think you will either.
I'm officially coming out. I can condemn rape.
Okay, I didn't want this to be a show, but let's go. We are 3 anti-rape dudes. It was funny because what were we listening to last night? Where when Candace Owens went on the Surrounded on the Jubilee channel, one feminist accosted her and said 81% of women will be raped in their lifetimes. And Candace was picking another angle to rebut her. I don't think she challenged that stat. Like 81%, that is just a ton of rape. That's a lot of rape.
Anecdotally, I think it happens all the time, but it's just the same guys doing it a lot. Like if you see some of the stats, I think of child predators, for a particular child predator, he has like 1,000 different cases. And
oh wow.
So what I think is happening, I don't think there's some mass epidemic that every man's doing that. I think that's always been the dumbest shit I've ever heard. But I just think that the men that do it. The men that do it, they kind of get away with it.
Yeah. I guess so, but still 81%. I think you're right there statistically. Man, I wasn't trying to turn this into a rape show. We're gonna have to put this in the title.
Yeah, this is we need to table this topic, I think.
Zionism, feminism, and rape. Where do you guys stand? Are you guys pro or con? No, I just 81% is like over 4 out of 5 women, and I know about 5 women who don't hate me, and they and none of them, none of them have been raped. So I don't know. That's which I'm for. I'm pro none women being raped.
Pro anti-rape.
Pro anti-rape.
Stats or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Very last parting shot. I'd promised to talk about this. Where are you? I think I know on the Zionism issue, and why is this issue in everybody's Twitter feed all day long? I mean, just say the obvious.
Because how do I answer that? I don't want to get you in any trouble on YouTube. I think the issue, we all know what it is. It's that our country is funding a genocide right now at the behest of people that hate us and hate Christ. And a lot of Orthodox and Catholics have died, mainly just Orthodox and Catholics. That's why Protestants don't give a fuck. So it's, they only claim us when they want to. So yeah, it's kind of tragic and awful. And I mean, how much more are we willing to put up with that? So I think guys on the front lines of that debate that have pushed that debate forward, I think they deserve their flowers. I think they do. Nick deserves his flowers. He took his hits. And I'm not a fan of Candace, but I think she deserves her flowers too. And I think everybody that's spoken up, they deserve their flowers. And I think anyone who cares at all about Christianity, even slightly, if you're a Zionist, I just have no respect for you and I don't even want to talk to you. I met a guy who was a Zionist who claimed to be Orthodox. And I was like, okay, well, that conversation's over. Let me never talk to you again because you're a traitor. You hate God. And that might sound polemical, but you hate God's body. What does Christ say to St. Paul? He says, why are you persecuting me? So if you're an Orthodox and you're okay with Orthodox being genocided, where's your relationship with God headed exactly? And look, St. Paul turned it around. Obviously, he's one of the most important people ever. But, I'm not trying to deride a saint in any way, but you get the point I'm making. So, yeah, if you're a Christian and you're a Zionist, you're a traitor. So it's that simple.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah. Well, I think we could just leave it there. Do you have time to hang out a bit, Mario? 10 minutes, just talk to the.
You let me go tinkle? Absolutely. You let me go run over to to the
I
best.
told you I'm 100% anti-rape. I'm pro tinkle when you need to. So
I think that's good because like my bladder can only take too much. If I hold, I gotta pee. I gotta go.
Yeah, I'm a pro prostate guy. I don't like when you the NFL game and they're wearing pink for breasts for breast health. You know, I say, look, we have our own breasts, men, and they're called prostates. We need to do more for the realm of the male prostate. And in furtherance of that, I want you to go tinkle. I want you to have as much urine as you need to have.
Do we even have a color for men's prostate
It's blue,
health? It's
I
a blue
think.
color.
Yeah.
Is it blue?
We got to get like blue band or something out here.
Yeah, I'm wearing an armband.
A blue armband.
I'm like militantly pro prostate of all the organs. That's the one I'm the most pro.
Well, as a man, you know, it does kind of pertain to us because I think it's the kill streak of prostate cancer on dudes is insane. That might actually be 81%.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's our breast cancer. So there it is, ladies. Okay, so go tinkle, and then we'll go to locals only, and we'll just continue talking inanely like this for about 10 or 15 more minutes. All right. God bless everyone. There you have it, Christian Mario. Oh, what's your YouTube channel for the?
You know, I think he went to tinkle, but I'll put that on the screen right now.
He dipped out.
Yeah,
he's not messing around. Okay, so he's on the screen right now. So you can follow him on Twitter at SuperXTian Mario. So it's SuperXTianMario, one word. And then his YouTube channel is also on the screen, and it's at Christian Mario, and I think it's at, gosh, my eyes are so bad today. I can't read the small print, but it's on there, right there. So you can go ahead and follow him on YouTube and Twitter.
Amen.
And we'll end the stream, and we'll join you locals just in a few minutes.
Cool. There's old Everett.